Hey everybody, welcome in. First I just wanted to say, hope everybody had a great Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes.
What a game. The team
Wow.
won. And I
Can't
hope you
believe
won.
the Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles won.
Won. I mean, and what a game it was. Hopefully you won all your bets with BetOnline.
Absolutely.
And you know why? Because BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting.
We have hundreds of prop bets, MVP odds, and exclusive in-game live betting. BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion.
Whether you're a seasoned fan or first-time bettor, BetOnline offers you everything and more to enhance your game day experience.
Visit the website today and make game day action count a little bit more.
BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
And my name is Evan, and I'm a dumb dad. And on today's episode, Kevin is going to try his hand at being a funkle.
And on this podcast, we're going to learn about Evan's dummy daily double. Cheers. Before we get started, though, guys, do want to let you know, as of this recording, we're on tour. We are in Washington, D.C. on the 11th. We are in Philadelphia on the 12th. We are in New York on the 14th, Boston on the 15th, and Pittsburgh on the 16th. We've also added a show, San Diego, on March 6th. So check it out. Link in the show notes for the tickets if you haven't bought yours yet. Come on out. San Diego, we're excited to go. Hopefully you have more show dates as the year goes on. We're really excited for it. Hope to see you there. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, baby, the rain came.
Rain's here.
The rain's here. And what do you say when your dad? Oh, boy, we really needed it.
That's the California dad. Oh, we really needed it. The regular dad just says, oh, boy, it's really coming down.
It's really coming down. Yesterday, have we talked about that I've been like getting... Yeah, we got back to bike riding a little bit. So like trying to offer that to my
Yeah, that was your dumb dad
kids.
moment.
Yeah, my dumb dad moment. Because
week.
it was just like, here, ride them. Good luck.
Yeah.
Seats are at appropriate heights now.
Yeah.
Handlebars are set now. We're good. But yesterday, I did that thing. Is this like a dad thing where you're like, just want to let you guys know, we got a little bit of time now if you wanted to go for a bike ride a few times around the block. Because if we don't, you're probably not going to be able to bike ride for the next like 3 days. Because I knew the rain was coming. And they looked at me like, okay, we'll go. And I was like, oh, that worked.
I'd say it's more of a parent thing because I hear my wife say stuff similar to that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But it's not like you can't do it for 3 days. It's usually just like because we have the rest of the day packed. We have an hour right now.
Yeah. If you want to do it, you got to do it right now.
And that's when kids will usually let you down. And they'll usually just say, no, I'm good. Are you sure? Because we can't do it later.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Because I just want to say the Nintendo Switch or the screens will be here when we get back.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. All right.
Okay.
All right, guys, it's time to head out. We got to go to the, soccer practice. I want to go for a bike ride.
Or the next day, I want to go for a bike ride. It's raining. I want to go.
We never go for a bike ride.
We never go, and you never offer it to us.
That's why you should always buy a table and keep it in your garage. It's just for flipping. You just go in there.
Yeah.
Flip the table.
Yeah, that's right. I like that idea so much. And you can put like a bunch of props on there.
Yeah, just go to get a bunch of plastic, like not dolls, but you know what I mean, like decoration.
Like you get a box shipped to you, take it out, kind of fold it back a little bit, put it on that table. So you can kind of dramatically go in there, two hands, sweep it all off, and then flip the table.
And then before bed, put it all back together.
Put it all back so you can come back and do it again tomorrow. Yeah. What a fantastic idea. Sketch coming soon. 100%.
Would you excuse me? Just door closing. A long shot of walking. Going to the garage, realizing it's locked. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, jeez. Go inside. Completely calm. Get the keys. Now, which key is it? It's the second one from it's not the gold one. It's a second silver. Here we go. Close it. Mother.
Come back out, lock it.
You guys want mac and cheese for dinner?
Boy, Candyland was wild at the end there, huh? It's like those places you go where you pay money and you go in and just like break a bunch of stuff.
Is that
with
still
bats.
a thing?
It's
I
gotta be
remember that was like a.
It's got to be somewhere.
That was popular.
Somebody has one still open somewhere.
Yeah, you just go and you just smash stuff.
Smash stuff. They give you like safety goggles. And they're like, go nuts. There's like TVs and stuff in there, and like you just go smash stuff.
Yeah.
I bet I'll say this. Concept, great.
I mean, it's the.
I bet it's fun for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not fun for as long as you pay for.
It's the same thing as like, have you ever demoed anything? Like kind of sizable? Demoing, the concept of,
yes.
Like I had to demo like a room once. Like at my old job, my boss is like, you guys got to demo that room so we can make space. That's not going to be an office. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. Like volunteered right away.
Absolutely.
And then it was like an hour into it. It's like, we're not even close to being done. And this sucks. It was like really fun to throw a hammer at the wall because you could.
Yeah.
But then you're like, really, if you do it that way, you're just making it worse for yourself because you start making all these little pieces go everywhere. Like really what you want to do is like, what we're trying to do is find the studded screws and unscrew those so panels of drywall would come off and then we'd be done quicker because like, you know, we drew like an outline of each other and then we're like throwing the hatchet at the wall, you know, but that was like the first 15 minutes. And then after that, it was like, all right, I guess we got to start taking this thing down. Then it was like 3 hours later, we weren't even done at all. And it was like, this sucks.
The best demo I got to do that was the perfect amount was we bought shelves for the garage to put bins in and store them.
Yeah.
Pretty recently. I talked about it in the pod. And they had put up pretty decent shelves, but like stupidly, the previous owner or the owner before that, who knows, in the garage, super old shelf, but like not doesn't make sense. Like this shelf is 4 feet wide, and then there's one right above it, so you couldn't put anything high in that 4. Like it just didn't make sense for breath. So when we bought the shelves, first thing I had to do was demo all these shelves and beams. That was fun because it was the perfect amount of time of like, I just got to take down like 10 things, and I get to hit them with a sledgehammer. That's cool. Use a crowbar.
I don't know what's the guy's name on that Hearth and Hand. Chip and Joanna, you know, Chip, that whenever they would redo a house, he was like, demo day is my favorite day.
No, it's not.
And I was like, oh, man, really?
Just the first
But he got a team, and he goes in there with a kitchen
That's
with a
why.
sledgehammer.
He gets to do the first hit.
I know. He
to get that slow-mo shot.
Yeah, he takes the countertop in half and then blasts a cupboard. And he's like, all right,
Dylan, you're up. And he's like, I hate this job.
Yeah, they have to call me Demo Dylan.
I hate that name. Yesterday, as of this recording, for us here in not so sunny California, was the 100th day of school.
The 100th day of school, which is crazy because I'm pretty sure our kids, the math doesn't check out. Our kids went back to school way before Christmas, in the fall even. But there was 100 days of January. So how could they have only gone to a school for 100 days? It really feels like they've gone to school for like 300 days.
You say that, but then I went to the dentist yesterday and
at 2:30.
No, they're always busy at 2:30. You can't get a 2:30 slot, my guy.
Unless you know somebody.
And
I know the dentist.
That's primo. But I went at 2:30, and then they were like, because I do Invisalign, I have to do it cleaning every 4 months. So I was like, okay. They're like, all right, next cleaning will be
you gotta like pressure wash them.
Yeah, basically. Apparently, you drink coffee and then put on this case over your teeth. It's not great for it. So
really seal that stain.
Yeah, really. There. Yeah. So they were like, all right, 4 months from now, like they were like, how was June, whatever. And I was like, I went and looked. I went, oh God, that's the last day of school.
The next time you go in?
No, I didn't make it that day. I made it a different day.
No, I'm saying that's. But
that hurts so bad that we're like scheduling something that doesn't feel that far ahead. Anyway, I had a great one. The reason I bring up the 100th day of school is because I was at my daughter's swim class, and one of the other dads there, I'm sitting with him and his son, who's in kindergarten, who's not in that swim class. Him and I were just chatting with a buddy, because I see he has his little kindergarten book, and I was like, how you liking kindergarten? He's like, great. And I was like, wait, was today your 100th day of school? And he was like, it was. And I was like, did you do anything fun for 100th day? And he was like, yeah. And he told me whatever they did. But then I was like, oh, my son dressed like my son and my daughter, they dressed like they were 100 years old. That's what we did at school today. dressed like you were 100 years old.
It's a classic moment. It's a classic one.
And he goes, the kid goes, yeah, no, we were supposed to do that too, but we ran out of time. And I looked at the dad and I was like, rough morning? He was like, not great.
Kids having like a sort of like an adult report reaction to something that didn't go well. It's so funny.
Oh, it killed me.
My kids had at our school, the jogathon was last week.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter was like a little bit worried about it all week, and we weren't sure why. And I don't know if she knew this but didn't explain it to us or not. But like, so anyway, at their elementary school, it's pre-K and K do you have your track. The rest of the school, 2nd through 5th, has like, all right, this is your track.
Yeah.
This is you really run around this. Like you did 57 laps last year. That's great. This year it's not a full size track, but it's much bigger, right?
Yeah.
So it was intimidating, and all the bigger kids were running and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And my daughter, like that's the day that I was supposed to go to the school. My wife and I were both going to volunteer for the event. And then the night before, my son started throwing up, and I was like, okay, well, I guess we're staying home. Mm-hmm. You guys have fun. But my daughter had like 2 full-blown overwhelming meltdowns and was like afraid at the jogathon. Mm-hmm. And she had to go stand with her teacher for a little bit, and then I guess she stood with my wife for a little bit and kept trying to like gear herself up to go, and then would get nervous and then kind of come back and like at the end of the day I was like, how did it go? And she was like, fine. Oh, I had 2 meltdowns.
I didn't handle it well.
Yeah, just that like staunch, I understand why and how and all this stuff, but it wasn't great. Yeah, a couple of meltdowns for me there. Just like very matter of fact.
It's really funny, like the press conference, but for a kid.
Yeah.
But they just still play it like an athlete. There's no jokes of like.
Yeah, had a meltdown after school. Asked for a snack, and it would the apples were cut wrong. And
yeah, I asked mom for peanut butter and jelly, and then lunchtime came and it opened, and just wasn't feeling it in the moment. So yeah, I didn't touch any of that, which she was frustrated, and I can understand that, but
I came home and expected ice cream,
yeah.
And she told me I still had to finish my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which I already told her I didn't want. So,
but she got the cheap lunchbox, and the apple rolled on top of it, and it had a really wet dent in it. So nobody's eating that.
Part of the sandwich is a 1/16 of an inch thick.
Yeah,
I'm not touching that.
I used to love that part.
Oh, that's a great part of the sandwich.
I mean, that's just a flavor sealer.
Adverse to the brown banana. Not touching that part.
Apple, the original
chocolate.
The original vacuum sealer.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I just love when kids act like that. It's so hilarious to me. Mm-hmm. My daughter just got back into swimming. We went to. It was like 6 months off. They were doing like the play thing at school or whatever, and we were like, and my son's doing that again, but she was like, really did not want to do it again. So we were like, man, we need another activity for her. Let's get her back into swimming. And when we left the swimming, it was like, she's ready for level 4, whatever that means to you out there. You get it. If you're in something like that, it's like you've passed level 3, you can move on to level 4. And we were like,
after level 3 is level 4.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You know what I mean? Whatever the measurement is, you're an alligator next time as opposed to being a minnow now. Whatever the
stick with the numbers, bud.
So
I think a minnow's a better swimmer than an alligator.
I don't know. Probably. She keeps pulling kids into the pool from the edge,
holding them down.
It's doing a spinning thing. I don't know what so she's an alligator. So it was kind of funny. It felt kind of like a dumb dad moment the first time we went back, because we're thinking like, okay, I know that she said she's ready for 4, but it's been 6 months. Like, why don't we just do her a favor and just do level 3 again? Get back into it, probably be a little bit of a review, but that's fine. We'll do the 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep.
And then we'll go. I mean, like, she wasn't even in the water for like 5 minutes before like the other swim instructor came over and was like watching her for a second, and then looked up at us, and then back at her, and then like kind of at my son, who he's thinking like, yeah, I can, because he's like taught them before.
Yeah.
So he must be thinking like, and then he goes over and like look, it seemed like literally look at the sheet, and then her swimming, and then for the rest of that class, she was doing different stuff than the other kids in the class are doing, because they were like, yeah, why is she in the? Well, they never said anything to us, but it was so clearly like, why is she in this class?
Oh, that's interesting.
It was so funny. We're like, man, stuff like that for kids is like, it's like we never even stopped going to swim. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Freestyle, backstroke, treading water, which at 6 is cool. That was like because we both had our kids in swim for so long from at a young age.
Well, that's why it's also so important to have a teacher who isn't you, because
the
kids have that kind of like sight memory where it's just like, even if it's not the same teacher, they know in a pool with this person that has a dark blue shirt that says staff on the back.
Yeah.
I need to listen to them.
Yeah, I got to listen to them.
And yeah, it just does work where they, kids always listen better. There's going to be somebody out there who's like, no, my kids listen great. They don't. Kids always listen better to like somebody else. And it's always good to have like a little, every once in a while, to have a different teacher, especially for stuff like that. Like my kids will be giving me a hard time all day, and then they'll go to baseball or swim, and then they're just dialed in.
Well,
and then you do that thing. Go, why don't they listen to me like that at home?
They do it, yeah. Well, because they're comfortable with you, right?
Yeah.
They're more comfortable with you.
Yeah.
But
that
also,
feels great. That's the reason.
Yeah, that's the reason. That's the.
I'm gonna go flip a table again.
But it's also important that when they go to school, they also learn authority. That it's important.
Yeah,
they have somebody who's your instructor, or that's like you show them respect by listening to them, which helps as well. It also helps as well, which will make them succeed in those. I mean, it's also why she's been, is becoming a good swimmer, because she listens as well.
Yeah.
But it was so funny that like, and you could see on her face too that she, like, we got there, same routine, take the little shower first, get ready, like was patiently waiting with a little swim cap on.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, 3:30s can walk over. And the look on my daughter's face was, can somebody please walk me over there? I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
You just see the look on her face.
Yeah.
So mommy was like, sure. So she like walked her over to the pool and helped her get in. Just kind of wanted that support. And so far felt very validated in going like, yeah, 3's good again. So there's some comfort of what's going to be happening here.
Yeah.
So she was a little, whereas before, she would almost like run over and talk to buddies, and it's just been
you're
out
not
of.
supposed to run by the pool.
Yeah, she's been a little bit out of it. So like, but then 5 minutes in the pool, and it was like, oh, all of that's washed away. She should be in 4. Like she could have gotten over the same.
It would have been the same thing.
Same hump, yeah, just by going to. So anyway, who knows if they say something to her? I think today is her next class, so it'll be interesting to see if they say anything to us, because it was just so funny. Like,
well, they probably won't, because they probably think you want her to take it again.
Potentially, yeah.
They're not going to push a parent to be like, all right, well, the parents don't feel comfortable.
I've always thought they
it.
did a good job. Like they'll, and this is through the YMCA, and they always did a good job of sometimes coming up and like checking in, like before it's, or when it's like the evaluations are done, they'll come up and like very clearly explain why.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like sending the paper over with the kid. So, you never know. They're probably not going to be like, okay, let's take her out of this class. But that's my guess would be maybe they would say, she could do 4. Like we, so I don't know. But my assumption will be that once we jump into 4, she'll probably be there for a few sessions.
Yeah, my son doesn't want to do swim anymore, and it's fine. We want him to continue to do it, but we made the mistake, which is great for me. This is a great mistake for me, but it is what it is. Is he when he decided to take a break, we were like, fine, you can take a break after December. It was like, so January started and was like, fine, you're not doing swim. And my daughter's doing swim. I did one class with him, like one time with him sitting with me. I was like, oh, this is awful. Because he just wants to be on the phone the whole time. He's so bored. And then I remembered there was like, oh, there's a child activity center. So I started signing him up for that.
Yeah.
And now I drop her off at swim, go to the child activity center, drop him off for like an hour and a half, because hers is like an hour 15 with showering and everything. It's about an hour and a half. I drop him off. Now he's never taken swim, because now he goes to this cool place where they're just like coloring and playing with toys. And I was like, no, you're never taking swim again.
And you get an hour to like cry in your car or whatever you want to do.
Not allowed to leave. I've tried. They take your keys. No, you're not allowed to leave if your kid's like they're 12.
Keys in the bowl.
Keys in the bowl.
This is weirdly familiar. I don't understand this.
Well,
want to jump into some dumb dad moments?
Jump into some dumb dad moments.
I'm going to say mine. I'm going to say mine first, because it's so simple, and it's really not that long. It's very short.
Okay.
But I just had a dumb dad moment this week. My dumb dad moment this week is sponsored by knowledge or lack thereof.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's closer to the mark.
So some of you may or may not know, my in-laws live with us. We all share a house together. And a couple nights ago, they were watching, or Jeopardy was on TV. They don't necessarily watch it all the time. Once in a while, it's like maybe like once a week it's on. They'll turn it on or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's really fun. Side note too, it's so funny how I don't know, did your parents ever watch Jeopardy like when you were a kid?
Nope.
My parents would watch Jeopardy when we were kids. And a lot of times we'd be either playing nearby or, we were always just aware that it was on. My parents watched it like they watched it like every night, like right before we'd have dinner. They would like watch Jeopardy. And my parents got so many of them right. And I was just like, man, I don't understand how you could know that much stuff. When I was a kid, that's how I thought. And as I got older, it became easier and easier. Now, the people that are on Jeopardy are so much smarter than me. Let me just make that very clear. But at least the questions, I started to go, oh, I know that answer. Whereas when I was a kid, it was like, this seems like it's a foreign language. How do you know all this stuff? So we were playing, and the other night, I was like walking back and forth in the kitchen, and I went for like 4 answers in a row. And I was like, all right, I got this category. Next thing was like a double Jeopardy question. And it was, I don't even remember the question, but it was like worded in a way that it was like, other than Argentina, this country borders this and this and this and this. And I was like, Argentina. And it's like, and they said what the answer was, and I was like, oh, really? And then they were like, they said other than Argentina, meaning it's definitely not Argentina. And I was like, right. Oh, I said that with so much confidence.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's just in front of everyone.
It would have been better to guess Ireland.
Like I said, it was such a simple little thing, but it was like 5 minutes after, I was like, or just listen sometimes. Because that
is the point of the game.
Yeah, my wife's like needling me the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, well deserved. I mean, I shouted it out like, how did you guys not know that?
You guys are idiots.
Stupid idiots.
And if you had to make a second guess, other than Argentina,
I don't think so. I think it's Argentina.
I'm going to stick with my answer.
I'm going to double down.
Final answer.
I'll make it a true daily double.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. What is Argentina?
Oh, boy.
That's great. My dumb dad moment is brought to you by Funkle.
Okay.
Fun uncle.
Fun uncle.
Yeah. So my sister-in-law, her father passed away. Shout out to Katie, thinking of you and your family.
Katie.
And so she had to go out of town. And while he was sick before he passed, she was out of town just visiting him. And so I was watching the kids a lot. And then he did pass. And then it was official. They were all going to fly there. So after we found out he did pass, then it was like, oh, okay, now they're all gonna go home.
Yeah.
For the service and all that. So I stayed with the kids because my brother's working. So he was working like the very last night. They're getting on a flight at 6 a.m. So
at LAX.
Sorry, they're not getting on at 6 a.m. We're leaving the house at 6 a.m. The flight's at 8 or something. Yeah. So, but we got to leave at the latest 6. So I had put them to bed. I just slept over on the couch, and it was just like, all right, well, we'll wait for my brother. He gets home. I was like, all right, see you in the morning. We'll take the kids. So we wake up, 5:45, 5:30. And it was funny. My brother did that thing where he said he did this where he woke up at 5:30 and he was like, oh, I could sleep 15 more minutes. Don't do that. Get up right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
I have the opposite of that. I sleep terrible.
Uh-huh. If you know you have to be up for something?
If you have to be up for something, you can't miss it. Sleep awful. I'm just up every hour. Sometimes I'm just jolting up.
Like it's Christmas morning for you. You're just so excited to drive to the LAX.
Not once. Not once was there a smile as I looked at the clock. It was all sheer terror. It wasn't
We're getting closer.
It wasn't that bad this time, but it was like a couple times woke up, but then I woke up at 5. Anyway, so we get the kids up. Like, it's like just get in the car. Like, you guys will eat breakfast at the airport. Let's go. So it's one of those things. The reason it's got to be an uncle is because you know your own kids. Uh-huh. And you have a shorthand with your own kids. Mm-hmm. That's going to be different from kid to kid. Yep. These kids, their mom hasn't been home for, I don't know, a week. And like, it was a tough first couple of days when it happened, dropping him off at school. He was really sad. Pick up from school, he was sad. My dad drove down to help out with that when it first happened, and then he went back, and then after he passed, it was like, all right, I'm good. I can handle.
Yeah.
I can watch kids here and there. So all that to say, like, you know, he was in good spirits, FaceTiming mom. He was happy. Like, the emotion was kind of gone. He was kind of not used to it, but like, it's fine. I'll see her soon.
Yeah.
Where that first immediate where she is sadder. So they're cool, goofing around, joking around. We get in the car, start driving, and my brother goes, I'm so sorry, I forgot my backpack. And I was like, no worries. We hadn't gone that far.
Yeah.
I was like, no worries, man. Let's go get it. So we turn around the car, and we're headed back to their house. And the kids are going, why are we going back to our house? I was like, we changed our mind. Like, why are we going to go to the airport for? That's silly. Let's not get on a plane. Let's just stay home, and we'll just, like, play games here. Like, who needs to go back to Massachusetts? And they were like, but I really want to see my mom. Like, both of them are just, like, tired, hungry, and not in the mood for it. And I was like,
we weren't even consulted about this.
You can at least talk, put it to a vote. And I was like, I was kidding. Guys, we're going to the airport. Your dad just forgot a bag. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, Jesus.
Thin ice back there.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
God, what are you guys upset about something? So they were fine. They didn't go cry, but that, like,
Guys, I'm fun. I'm a funny guy.
Yeah.
I'm being
I'm fun uncle.
I'm being the fun guy right now.
There's probably candy in between one of your seats. Just grab something. Enjoy it. So yeah, they didn't cry, but the quiver in their voice was very funny. I want to see my mom. I was like, oh, okay. Sorry about that. That's fair.
Was your brother in the car? Was he like going to get? Was he getting his backpack? And so it was just you and them.
Yeah, I think he might have even joined in. You know? Yeah, we're not gonna go. And then he's like, buddy. It was funny. His reaction, again, you have your shorthand with your own kids. You also have a reaction that's different to your own kids, because my reaction was like, oh, buddy, I was just kidding. Like, we're going to the airport. Your dad just forgot a bag. It's just 2 seconds and we're going to back on the road. And his reaction was like, buddy, he's kidding. Just that kind of like.
There's a tinge of like, you need to be on our level of sophisticated humor up here.
Knock it off. All right. We got a long flight. Don't start that now.
He's joking around.
He got lucky. We were driving for like a half an hour, or no, because it wasn't that long a drive. It was like probably 40 minutes total. We were driving for like 20 minutes when he just goes, oh, I forgot the iPads.
Oh no.
And I was like, we can turn around. We'll still be fine on time. And he was like, nah, they'll just watch screens on the flight. And I was like, okay. That's a move.
So you're definitely assuming they're going to be on and working.
I think he probably had a great flight. I didn't hear anything. We were all texting. They made it safe and all that stuff. But I'm betting that flight home is going to be rough. Because it's all new the first time. The airplane TV behind the chair, the crackers, all that. It's all new. Flight home. They're old hats at this. I want something else.
And if you don't have a tailwind, it's a longer flight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know when you get the tailwind. I wouldn't have any idea.
In the tail.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's at the end of the flight, the tail end. It's usually the end of the flight. Learn that on Jeopardy.
There it
is.
Okay, now it's time to read a dumb parent submission.
Yeah, you guys can email us dumbdadpod@gmail.com, or you can DM us at the dumbdads on Instagram, or you can write it in. The address.
Just write it in.
It's in the show notes. Our link is in the show notes.
We got one. We got a couple right here. A couple of handwritten submissions.
We'd love to read them on the pod.
However you want to get it to us. We'd love to read it on the pod.
All right, I'll read this week's dumb parent submission. It's from Justin.
Hey, Justin.
Hi, Justin. This is one from way back, so if Justin's listening, be like, oh, yeah.
Oh, I've done more stuff than that since.
It says, hey, guys, I think I'm the dumbest dad in the world.
Well, we'll be the judge of that.
Brought my kids 4 and 6 out to our farm the day before Father's Day, where I paid them each $1 to stay by me while I worked. There was a bird's nest in the barn and a container of fencing staples the kids had been watching for a month. And today, the mother bird kicked the baby birds out to teach them to fly, effectively abandoning the nest. Parenting, am I right?
Oh, boy.
I grabbed the container of staples with the nest still in it, gave it to the kids to look at, hopped on the side-by-side, and drove out of the pasture to fix the fence. About a minute later, both kids were complaining of being itchy, and their faces were covered in bird mites.
What?
Yeah, that's a thing. Of course, as soon as I told them what it was, panic ensued. Sure.
Oh, you guys got bird mites all over your face.
Yeah. This is not a good time to read this with a bird flu going on, but
No.
This was much older for everyone listening. Since our house is 12 minutes away, the only thing I could think of to do was try to spray them off with the cold garden hose. Yeah, sure. Which only brought about screaming, crying, half-wet kids covered by bird mites. It was absolute chaos. I ended up putting them in the truck and speeding home, stripping them down in the yard and taking them in the shower for about a half hour to wash them off and curb the infestation. So far, so good.
Oh, my goodness.
I love your podcast and your content. The present story being an exception, it's nice to know that others have the same experiences we do with our young kids. Justin.
Oh,
Wow.
Justin. Oh, my. Didn't even know that was a thing. So that's a new thing for me to have a nightmare about.
Well, I don't handle birds, so. And you shouldn't right now. Bird
well, they
flu.
weren't handling them either. They were just looking at the nest.
Don't handle a nest. That's good to know.
That's good to know. Don't even handle a nest.
Just
Otherwise, you get bird mites all over your
Punt
face.
it into the neighbor's yard.
You get sprayed with a hose.
That's funny. That's funny to solve it and go, I made it worse.
I
made it so much worse.
Compounding the problem.
Yeah.
Making it so much worse.
Poof. Well, thanks for sending that in. We'll end it there. As of this recording, we are on tour. So check out the cities that we talked about at the top of the show. And hopefully we'll see you out there. We'll meet you in person. And if not, we'll catch you at the next one. Again, San Diego, new show added March 6th. We're really excited for it. Thanks to Ed Verdú on SoundCloud for the music and my lovely wife, Andy, for editing this podcast. Evan, you got a joke to take us out?
I got something for you. Ready?
Let's go.
What does a dentist get on his 1-year work anniversary?
His 1 year, what does he get?
It's a good little plaque.
Oh, that's a bummer.
You should get a bigger one.
You just don't want plaque as a dentist. It's bad for you.
You could put it on his wall.
Yeah, the wall of his mouth. It's bad for you. Okay, bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?
The Dumb Dad Podcast is proudly presented by Bet Online.